In the last couple of weeks of Advent, we've been talking about themes of hope and love. For the third week of Advent, our theme is joy. And joy is something that's easy to feel at Christmas time, well, except when it's not. Sometimes it's hard to feel joy because of the griefs we've suffered, the people we miss, the various things that have been presented to us in life. But we know that Christmas is supposed to be a joyful time. We put it on our Christmas cards, we sing songs about joy, we hear about it all the time. But it's harder to understand joy, at least in the biblical sense. I think in our culture, we've spent so much time on enjoyment that we don't get around to real joy very much. And so often our enjoyment simply becomes entertainment or distraction. Those things aren't real joy at all. That's not the message this Advent and this Christmas. When in the gospel stories, as Mary sings about the baby she's about to have, she is rejoicing. And she copies some ideas from an old song, an old Jewish song, the Song of Hannah, Samuel's mother, that she sings when she's pregnant. There's joy in that, and in both of them, there is a sense that things are going to change. We are not just happy because everything's okay right now. We are happy and joyful because we see that God is about to make a change in the world. That is the source of our delight and our joy, that Jesus comes as part of God's new work. Throughout the Old Testament, we hear that God is doing something new. And in the New Testament, we're reminded that God is making everything over again. God makes all things new. God thinks new thoughts, sees life from a new perspective, and breathes newness into our lives. That's the reason for joy. That God is changing us, changing the world. In the Song of Hannah and the Song of Mary that we read in Luke 1, we hear about change. The rich will be poor, the poor will be rich. Those whom the world has respected will be seen for what they are, and those whom the world has rejected will be lifted up and honored. It's a deep change in our values that is an ongoing source for joy in our world. It seems to me that the word joy is related to the word rejoice. If we are joyful over and over, we end up rejoicing because we're giving praise to the God who is making all things new. This is the God we know at Christmas, the God whom we wait for in Advent, the God who brings us hope and tells us to celebrate the love that we have. It is a God who is at work transforming our world, a God who is at work reversing the things that have gone wrong and offering us a new chance, a chance to live in a different kind of world. That's the source of our joy, and that's the reason for rejoicing in this and every season. Amen.